must be really pleased with that, a good win over the reigning premiers. It must be great for the club.
Yeah, and that's it. It's a massive win for the club. It's probably, I'd say, it's the biggest win in our history. We've never beaten North Launceston before in the competition, and it's the first time we've got past four wins at senior level at the club. So, yeah, really good day, really pleasing, and great effort by the players. So, they deserved it. So they were great.
It must give you a lot of confidence because you're obviously being well positioned for the finals, but this is a big scout for you guys just to give yourself some momentum.
Yeah, it puts us another game clear in the 5 as well. So, really important. And yeah, we've been busting our tails trying to beat a team above us on the ladder this year, and yeah, we've finally done it today, which is really good. So all that should give us is good momentum, but also a hunger to keep trying to do it and do it again.
You must be really pleased with how the game played out. You let it all changes, just being able to maintain that lead even when they looked like they were coming a bit in the last quarter. Yeah,
we set up a little bit different structurally than we have in the past against North Launceston. They lost their their half back, zone off really well, and we didn't want to again kickstart their attack, so we didn't want to give that to them today. I thought Bowie Adams' job on Jay Foon was outstanding. He's one of the best rebounding defenders in the competition, so he was able to limit him a little bit to his normal output. And we just try to keep some more numbers ahead of the ball to get 1v1s, especially with the conditions too. It was going to be long deep entries and getting the ball on the ground. So I thought we played to our plan for I think the majority of the day, which was pleasing.
You must be really pleased with the game of Kieran Lovell. At times it almost looked like he had a different ball in his hand, just the way he handled it during those wet conditions.
Yeah, I thought Kieran and Ryan Matthews, inside the contest, were able to at times get first hands on the ball. There was always times, there's too much class in North Launceston's unit as well. They got their fair share out of the middle too, but I thought the work rate in there was really good, and the guys were disciplined in their roles. It's great.
You also must be really happy with Elijah Reardon, just when the ball got to ground, kicked 3 really good goals in, as I said, wet conditions.
Yeah, Elijah just needs to play more footy at this level, and he keeps stepping up week after week, which is really good. So, he got in some great spots, and he was really clean in the wet as well, and that sort of stood out today. And his pressure's always good, Elijah. So, it's pleasing to see him grow week by week. He's only a young fella, his first year of TSL footy as well, so he's still learning the game. So yeah, he was really good. And 3 goals, scoreboard pressure, especially in when it's a bit wet and windy. That's the best pressure you can put on.
Also really thought Clifford had a good game. It almost felt like these wet and tough conditions just really suited the way he likes to play. Yeah,
Cliffy's great for us. He can play inside and outside as well. So I thought those 3 mids, Lovell, Matthews, Clifford, and then Sammy Digan rotating through there. They sort of grinded away for the whole 2 hours, and they were pretty consistent across it. Like, there weren't too many lapses in concentration, which has been a big issue for us, is trying to concentrate and lock down, and we were pretty good at that area today.
You must also be really happy with how the back line stood up, especially in periods where they were kind of getting a bit of momentum going forward.
Yeah, Will Poland and Jared Drew, I thought, were fantastic. Will had a couple of real clean efforts in the 4th quarter where he attacked the ball and got some inside 50s for us. And Drewy was great all day. Drewy's a bit of a bull. He can use the ball, but I thought, he's pretty tough for us. So, him, Davies, and then when Rice had to roll back there as well, I thought, it was a really good line. Even Benny Donnelly sort of won his share of one-on-ones there, and Benja Graham had a role on Sharonegger, who's a really good player in this comp. He has played some really good footy this year, so, Benja went to him, and I thought did a decent job as well.
Obviously the bye next week. After a big win like that, do you almost wish you could continue the momentum, or do you think it will be good for the boys to have a break? Yeah,
a little bit of that. Like our first 2 byes, because they were earlier in the year, we trained through. So the boys need a break. So this week we'll still train, but we'll get away from the club. We'll do some cross training stuff, and we'll just let them get their heads out of footy, and then ready to attack the last 5 games. It gives an extra week. Our injured guys like Blake McCulloch, Mick Paul, Brady Rees, they'll all come back in after the bye, and they'll be pretty tough to change that team after today's performance. But we'll start to get a bit of shape and can really attack those last 5 games of the year for us.
Yeah, it must be a really exciting final part of the season. Like, you're well positioned for finals now. It must be a really good spirit around the boys at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we've given ourselves an opportunity to start to think about it, and that's all it is. We've just got to keep growing, keep getting better every week. You know, we're coming from a long way back, you know, but it's pleasing to see all the habits and that we've been putting into the guys over the last year. It's all starting to pay fruit for them, and you know, it's important to reward ourselves with some wins. And you know, if we can't take something out of beating probably, you know, the best team in the comp, you know, they've been the best team for the last 5 years. So we've got to take out of that. So you know, it's really good for our group moving forward.
Oh, well, Taylor, obviously a tough loss today, but you must be proud with how the boys hung around the contest for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, probably after half time it was a little bit better. It was more our brand and how we wanted to go about it, especially late into the third, and aspects of the fourth was good and pleasing that I guess they could respond after a pretty poor first half of footy.
It must have been tough coming down here today, especially in wet conditions. It just must have been pretty tough day out on the field, especially during the first half where it was still raining quite a bit.
Oh, I mean, the conditions didn't suit a pretty game of footy, but I guess for us we've got to be able to win pretty and win ugly as well, and I guess we didn't do that today from my point of view anyway. We didn't win the game, but we weren't able to play ugly at times, and to Kingborough's credit, they were harder for longer and better for longer with inside the contest and around that, and put scoreboard pressure on, and yeah, we couldn't come back.
Yeah. It kind of felt like in the final part of the final quarter things might have been turning away. There's a lot of talk about them possibly tiring. Do you think you'll be able to get over the top of them, or do you think they're just able to grind it out for too long?
Yeah, I mean, going into half-time with the way that we played the first half probably didn't just allow us to win the game of footy, so we had to win with some respect back in the second half, and I think we did that. We did grind. Yeah, it was just too far to come back from that, and I mean, credit to Kingborough, they hung tough in the end, and yeah, we just weren't able to get over the line.
You probably don't want to individualise, but you must be pretty pleased with your own individual game today, just both in the middle and also kicking a few goals up forward.
Yeah, I really couldn't care less, mate, to be honest. I mean, if I'm not getting a touch and we're winning the game of footy, I'm doing my job. Yeah, so I mean, I thought a couple of the younger guys that came in did a good job again. I thought Xavier Todman was pretty good behind the footy. I thought Ben Elmer late started to look like the Ben Elmer and old, which is really exciting for us. I mean, he's been out of the game for 5-6 weeks and lost a bit of touch. So for him to get some touch and some feeling back late in the game is promising.
Well, I also thought Joshua Ponting was really good for you guys today, even though it was a wet bowl. He's still really strong around the contest in trying conditions.
Yeah, punter, I mean, you know what he's going to get. You know what you're going to get from him week in, week out, and that's the beauty of Josh. He's a leader of our footy club and just puts his head over it and just continues to go and go. And I mean, it was disappointing that we couldn't have another 21 guys with him today, because if they played to his standard, then we probably would have got over the top. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, you know what you're going to get from Josh. He's a fantastic fighter.
It must be a tough spot for you guys at the moment, because you're still doing really well in the ladder, but you have a few injuries to some key players.
Yeah, I mean, we do, but you know, we've got to be realistic, and we came into this year, I think, with a deeper list than last year. I mean, the talent probably wasn't as high, as, you know, in terms of A-grade talent, but I thought our list was deeper, which we've had to rely on a little bit of late. Obviously, Alex and Bart were our two big keys that didn't come up today. So Cody Lowe, Tom Donnelly had to step up, and they did last week, which was great, but they didn't this week. So, you know, you can do it for 1 week, but to be a consistent, good TSL footballer, you've got to do it week in, week out, and that's good for them. They get that challenge now, and they've got to come back next week and put up a good fight against Clarence at UTAS.
Do you think it's going to be tough to overcome the height in this game? Because they obviously brought Hugh Johnston into the side to almost try and exploit that weakness you have with those key players out at the moment.
Yeah, no, I didn't think the height was an issue, especially with the conditions. As I said earlier, I just thought they were harder for longer inside the contest, and we just got beat inside and out realistically in the first half. And I think we kicked more points than goals again, which is disappointing. Weren't able to get the scoreboard pressure on, but I probably didn't think that the tools played a part in the game in the end, the way the conditions were.
As you mentioned earlier, you've got Clarence at home next week. Do you think that'll be a good game for you just to head back home and try and get a good win?
Yeah, we've got to bounce back, mate. I mean, we were really disappointed with today's output, as I said, especially the first half. We were really disappointed with that. So, gives our guys, and the best thing about footy is you back it up next week. So, we've really got to assess what we did poorly today and build from that, and especially learn. For those younger guys, learn what they didn't do well, apply it next week. Clarence are coming off the bye, so they're going to be fresh.